Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Mr. Yappy Pants here. Just gonna catch you up on these guys are all done. What I was doing the other day, filling in all the deep vein lines in the centerpiece, and you can see over here is where there was the steep angles where I said I'd use 2 leaves. Now it's all joined, so after when it's cast, it's gonna look like a not cast. It puts the latex on it. It's gonna look like a single leaf. And you can see how I carried the veins through for continuity there, not that it just runs and stops. So all 3 are ready to go. I don't know how much latex I'm going to put on it. I don't think it's going to be 20 coats. I want it to be pretty pliable, this stuff, so it might be a tad thinner. But I'll keep everybody posted. Now, what I want to talk about is, as well, aside from these guys here, is it's come up in the last few weeks on the forum, is talking about clay, and I'm just going to tell you what I use and what I know about the stuff that I use. Okay, what I use is this stuff this brand is Van Aken, but another brand is Chavant, which is pretty common out there. It's a good one. It's pretty much top of the line, I think. It's called NSP Plastiline, not plasticine, what we used to say in school. And the NSP stands for non-sulfurated plastiline. Means there's no sulfur. In some of the clays they put sulfur. It's sort of like a cheap filler, and I think it helps with some of the properties of the actual clay when you're working with it. So this is an oil base, not water base, right? And no sulfur. And the no sulfur is really important for a couple things. It doesn't react with silicone, and it doesn't react with rubber or urethane rubbers or latex rubbers. When you're going to do a mold off of your model, it's not going to react with your latex and cause you problems. So that's why that non-sulfur is really important for using for your modeling. It lasts forever. Like this stuff here is easy over 2 years old in this bag here, still pliable. It comes in a soft, a medium, and a hard, and in 3 colors usually. I know it's gray, but they call it green, brown, and then there's a tan. Okay, so you order the green, and they come in soft, medium, and hard. This is a medium, and like guns, I know he's worked with it. It's quite hard on your hands if you're just working on it like it is. Oh, sorry, before I keep going here. So here's the piece, just to give you an example. I bet you I did this about 1.5 years ago. This piece here, carved this out, and it's still soft, it's still pliable, still looks like the day I made it. This is just a little test piece, but it gives you an idea how well it stands up. I could take this off right now and roll it into a ball, and it would be just fine. So what one of the tricks is with this stuff is to make yourself either a little warming oven. There's a few ways you can do it. If you go online and look just on Google, or you go on YouTube, there's all kinds to show you how to make these little ovens. Okay, so you can just use a cardboard box with a hole in it too if you want. This is just a cheap bin that I had sitting around, small little bin, lined it with tin foil on the top and the bottom. You throw a couple pieces of clay in there and just turn your light on, put it down in the hole, and it actually in like a couple of minutes it's ready to go. It's soft enough to work with, and then I just turn my light off. I'll pull that out and then just put something over the top just to keep the heat inside, and when you need to, you drop that back in again. Some people use a Ziploc bag and hot water, and they put their clay in the Ziploc bag and just have it sitting in warm water, and then they take out their piece when they need to work with it. Or I've seen even like a heating blanket, small one, set on low, and you just put your bag with some clay in it and fold the piece over on the side of your table somewhere, and then just reach in and grab what you need, but don't put it on high. Because what some people don't know, and there's videos on this as well too, is at 180 or 185 degrees, this plastilina, the NSP kind, you can actually melt it, and it's pourable, Don't use your wife's best pots and pans, or your ass will be grass if you try something like that. But a cheap little pot on really low, got to be careful because it's got oil in it, so you can have problems, but low and slow. And you can pour it into like a plastic container that maybe has a shape that would give you a good base to start off on a sculpture. But anyway, it's just something I wanted to pass along that you could maybe try one day. Another trick I learned a year or so ago too is if you take your piece and you want to do really fine details, like if you want to, with some of your tools, you can slide up and lift little pieces up. If you put your piece in the freezer, like if it's a small enough piece, put it in the freezer and let it get really hard. And it's really, when you take it out, it's much easier to do the really fine details with. But just things that I'm just passing along that I've done and learned. See, is there anything else I wanted to say about it? I don't think so. Just the other one too is like with this one, what I think Zombie was mentioning too is it doesn't crack and dry. Like I said, this lasts forever and ever and ever. So when you're making a model, and if it's going to take you, if you've got something that you can bang off in a day, then you can use the other water-based clay. But if you're working on something on the side, like I think a lot of us do, when you get 20 minutes or a half an hour to go work on a piece, this stuff's great because it's not drying, it's not cracking, you don't have to wet it down, you don't have to wrap it, you don't have to do anything. You just leave it there and then walk by and start working on it again. Anyway, that's just, like I said, Mr. Yappy Pants, just giving you my my opinion on this sort of stuff, and it's a little bit of information. But anyway, I'll keep you posted on these leaves as I go along. And thanks for watching, gang.